Welcome back to the Fragtastic Mr. Fox. Today I figured I'd take us outside. It's a nice breezy 85 degrees where I'm at. So I figured I'd give you another Cheapies video because who doesn't need another summer Cheapies video? YouTube does, the algorithm does, that's what needs it. But with that said, I figured I would get into something a little bit different. We got a bunch of cheaper fragrances, $40 and under, in and around 40 bucks. And what you will notice, if you're a collector, it might not be a big deal, like someone like myself, but then after a while it maybe become a big deal to you because you're like, man, a lot of these fragrances that I buy smell quite similar. Redundancy for me has become a thing. So with that said, today is going to be about 6 or 7 cheapies that eerily smell the same. Do you need them all? That's up to you. Do they all smell exactly the same? No. But do they have a very familiar scent profile that is along the same vein? Yeah, they do. Let's get into some of these fragrances. Now, number 1, Davidoff Cool Water Wave. These pop up in rack stores. You could get these on discounters for super cheap. Aquatic, fruity, super fresh, super uplifting. I love this fragrance actually. It's actually one of my favorites out of this whole bunch. Just super uplifting. Performance isn't that great. I get about maybe 4 to 5 hours. If it's super hot, maybe 3 or 4. I usually have to bring the bottle with me because yeah, the heat just destroys it. But as a scent profile, this thing is super fresh. One of my favorite flankers from Davidoff Cool Water. This one is just super playful and fun. Bubblegummy vibes. Not too sweet, but really fresh. That's gonna spray right in my mouth. It's so nice. So if you're out and about or you see this on discounters, usually 20, 25 bucks. Killer freshy, great for the gym, great for the office, great summer, spray and go in a cutoff t-shirt. Yeah, Davidoff Cool Water Wave. Check that out. Another one from Davidoff, Run Wild, similar scent profile. Little differences, maybe a little more spicy. There's little slight differences in all of these fragrances, but a common DNA. And it's Davidoff Run Wild. That's what it looks like with the cap. Another great fragrance, bubblegummy, fresh, spicy, aromatic. Not as bright and uplifting as Cool Water Wave. Maybe a little bit more depth to this one, or body a little denser in its nature. Great for the office, great for day drinking, great for the pool, great for going on a date in the summertime. Just a very pleasant, sweet, bubblegummy, somewhat aquatic fragrance that's under 30 bucks. Let's get into the next one, since that smells pretty similar as well. You guys will know this one. This is a very popular one. It goes by Mont Blanc Legend. And now that I've showed this one, I wonder if you're catching on to what all of these might smell like. Mont Blanc Legend, another one, very up. I can't even waft it because the wind has taken it away. But another bright, fresh, bubblegummy, dumb reach, easygoing, is a great bang for your buck. Is actually out of the Mont Blanc Legends, probably my favorite. Great dumb reach fragrance, but this one, the fresh, kind of uplifting vibe to it, bubblegummy thing, it's grown on me a lot. And you'll notice I don't have big bottles of a lot of these because of the redundancy. I don't need a lot of it because they all smell similar. I learned that very quickly. So, number 3 on the list in this lineup of redundant summer cheapies, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. Check that one out. Number 4. This one, similar scent profile. Total beast mode. Little spicier. It's Middle Eastern. Rasasi Hawass. A fellow enthusiast on Instagram. We traded some samples, and he was kind enough to send me half of his bottle. And this one is awesome. Again, in the same vein as all the others I have spoken about so far, but a little bit more Middle Eastern vibe. Beast mode performance. I'm being redundant with the redundant lineup that smells quite similar to the other 3. There are slight differences. I'm not saying they're exact, but they're pretty much the same. And into the common nose, most people won't know if you wore each one of these for a work week that you have changed your fragrance. Trust, I've done it. But great, if you want a beast mode summer cheapie, they're like $40. They go up and down in price. I've seen them for $50. The people say that the darker juice, this is a lighter juice, is more potent. It's not. I've gone side by side with them. It is a myth, and you guys could fight me on it or believe what you want. But the juice is the same. Beast performance, smells great. If you like bubblegummy, aquatic style freshies, this has a little bit more of that Middle Eastern vibe, but not much. Beautiful stuff. Hawass by Rasasi. Last 2 are said to be in that similar scent profile. To me, this one is a little bit classier. It is in the same vein. I wouldn't say as redundant as the other ones, but still in the same scent profile. And that's Azzaro, the original Wanted. I actually love this one. I wear it a lot. As you can see, like, my juice is below the gunmetal. And I love this. To me, it's the classiest out of the bunch. This is what you wear on a date. This is a better, if you're a businessman dressed in the office. It's just, like I said, it's got that kind of bubblegummy, sweet, little fruity, but way more refined than the other ones I've shown you so far, and classier, more put together version of that, the DNA we're discussing today. But really good stuff. To me, definitely gets outshined by Wanted by Night and some of the other flankers. But to me, I wear the original a lot. Personally, I love it. It's one of my favorites. I wear this more than Wanted by Night. But everything is personal preference when it comes to fragrance. Last but not least, another one. Similar vibe. Doesn't really smell like the other ones, but it's in the realm, because I've been asked if I was wearing, well, I think it was Mont Blanc Legend, and I wore this the next day, and someone said, "Ooh, you're wearing that fragrance back to back," and I was like, "No, it's not the same," and they were like, "Really?" To me, and to a trained nose, or to somebody that's like an enthusiast, this one is definitely a bit different from the others, but in the same vein, in my opinion. And that's Lacoste Blanc, which I love. Ross Carlos on TLTG Reviews spoke about it one day, and this is, go like that, get it on me, like, oh, I'll wear it. It's another one. It's bright, it's refreshing, it's a very uplifting fragrance, in the same vein of most of these other fragrances. I would put it closer to like Davidoff, Cool Water Wave, Mont Blanc Legend. They're a little bit brighter in the lineup here. The Hawass, the Run Wild, and the Azzaro Wanted are a little, not thicker, but denser maybe, with that same DNA. But this one has like more of a, there's grapefruit, there's some rosemary in this, and some florals in this one, like tuberose and I think lang lang. There's some woods, cedar, but this is a very juicy, uplifting, refreshing. I would even, not the exact same scent profile, but in the same vein as the other 6. But I would say maybe this one out of them is the least redundant. That's why I put it last. But still, when I side by side these, you're in the same world, the same graduating class. Okay, if you haven't noticed already where I'm getting with this, now, all of these are all go back to one fragrance that it seems like spawned off all of these disciples, and it's Invictus Aqua 2016 that everybody will say, or Invictus Aqua or Invictus. Now, when it comes to Hawas, a lot of people compare it to Invictus Aqua, and I agree. And actually, Ross from TLTG Reviews had mentioned this recently, and I was so stoked because so many people say, oh, this is a clone of Invictus Aqua, and it's not, because this came out a year before, and I agree with Ross, and that to me it's a little bit more because of the spice and the density of this, and the sweetness is more like the original Invictus, but I do get the Invictus Aqua vibe as well. But to me it is more Invictus-y, but all of these obviously are very redundant because they all have the Invictus Aqua style DNA. Except for the Lacoste, like I said, is a little bit different with some of the florals and stuff like that. That's maybe separates it slightly. Yeah, I pretty much like decided to make this video because, you know, if you're an enthusiast or a collector or a viewer like myself, like maybe it doesn't bother you to, you know, spend money and have 7, 8, 9, 10 fragrances that basically all smell the same. For me, as I've been collecting now, I had about maybe 5 or 6 more that smelled like the same DNA, and I've decided to sell them off because I do not need 12 fragrances that all smell the same when I can't get through these bottles. Now, they weren't that expensive, but still, it adds up, and do you really need that? So for the common shopper, I figured I'd make this video because if you see a bunch of us reviewers talking about Hawas, Run Wild, Davidoff Wave, Mont Blanc Spirit, Azzaro, Lacoste, you know, maybe you want them all, maybe you don't. It's your money, of course. Maybe you just need a couple of them. To me, it's like a really super refreshing one I love. Boom, get that one for the day, hanging by the pool, just inoffensive. If you're in a controlled environment, it'll last forever. If you want to class it up a little bit, or you want a beast mode fragrance, not even class it up, you want the beast mode version of all of them that's going to last, be in your face, make a statement out of freshy Invictus style DNA, booyah, this is the one. But when the most popular, I would say, out of all of them, you could get this anywhere. These pop up in rack stores. This is cheap on discount. It smells great. Easy, dumb reaches. All of these are. It's all personal preference, obviously. I actually love the smell of Run Wild. Now I'm just killing time talking about the same DNA. You know what I mean? I just figured I'd make this because if you're just a normal shopper or somebody stopping in, I'm here to try to save you some money. And yeah, why have 6, 7, 8, 9 fragrances that are super redundant and smell the same if you don't need them? Always try to get samples if you can. Some of these are super cheap. You might not even care. I mean, if you could get some of these for 20 bucks, whatever, right? But I'm here to help, here to make you aware, and like I always say, smell foxy. Enjoy the journey, enjoy shopping for fragrances, be safe out there, and if you stuck around this long and hear me ramble, appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Much love.